time's up. Well, okay, just because it just showed that we are responsive to the community, we are actually going to change the order. We're going to go, this is going to be tough. We're going to go completely opposite. Okay? So that was a good suggestion, you know, making sure that not always the same person always gets the first dibs and gets the last. So, all right? So I'm going to read this, I'm going to read it, pause, and then I'll read it again to give you some think time before calling. And what we did, so you guys in attendance understand, what we did is we sorted and looked for similarities and type of question. And we try to combine them as much as possible. So we're going to ask definitely, we have 2, and we'll see if we can get through some of the other smaller ones in that. But they're pretty big and they're pretty thick questions. So yeah, they're big, thick questions, honestly. So that said.
Are you going to give us more than 30 seconds?
You got more than 30 seconds. You got 90 seconds.
No, they only get a minute for these.
Oh, no, minute. Okay, so the rules are minute?
Yep.
Okay, a minute for these. Okay. And you have to talk slow enough that people can understand. So, again, I'm going to read the question, give you a little bit of a brain break, and then read the question again before calling Mr. Schaefer. So, the question. What role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone and include resource management like water?
Wow.
Really? Question. Okay, read it again. What role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone, include resource management like water? And Mr. Schaefer.
60 seconds. 60 seconds? So economic development plan. Wow. So the first thing we need to do within our town is define what we want it to look like. We are not getting any feedback. We're not, as a town, I'm not on board. I don't get to give feedback too much unless I show up for a meeting. However, we have a strong group of plank owners in here, which is the HOA presidents, and they represent the homeowners. Let's ask them what they want. What do they want the town to look like? And once we develop that outlook, we start working with architects and engineers and developers to put a plan together and see how it looks. From there, we start developing economic resources. We start looking at internal stuff. See, like the state, we're in an economic zone. Why are we not taking advantage of the grants that are out there to help our businesses? Let's go to the federal government. There's grants. Let's work together. And let's start bringing these businesses in here and make them pay for our stuff. All right, let's give them tax breaks for 10 or 15 years. The sales tax that they're going to be able to bring to our community is just going to help boost us. And we need to make sure that we're going to be good stewards and not bring too many of the same businesses in here so they over-inundate and not be able to do no competition.
Thank you. Trustee candidate Ms. Marin.
Sorry, I wasn't choosing.
Okay, what role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone, include resource management like water?
Right, so water is obviously a big issue in Colorado in general. We do not have enough water in the state at this point for the development that people are expecting to come. So we have to be critical about how we use that water and where we get that water from and what that water goes towards. I know that the town is looking very hard at diversifying our water supply, and one of the things we're looking at is converting parks to raw water irrigation so that we can free up some of that drinking water. It is a big, big topic, and we are always talking about water on the board. We also need to look at our master development plan. Where are we now? Where do we want to be in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years, in 20 years? We can't just continue to sprawl and grow wherever we can find holes to put houses in. We have to be smart about planning where those houses go, how we're going to resource them, where the roads are, where the water is, where any of the other infrastructure is for those new developments.
Thank you. The question is, what role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone, include resource management like water? Mr. Jimenez.
All right. Well, I'm not content to be an expert in all this, especially water. But what I can tell you, as a manager, I know how to rely on people that do know what they're talking about. So it's important to work with the people that are in the know, the people we have in the town, get their opinions, get their suggestions, and then as a trustee, the role is to manage that. One of the things we have right now is we have an economic development plan, but it's being used more as a guide than a true plan. When we create this new plan, I believe they're working on a new plan this year. When we create this plan, we need to enforce it. If we say we're gonna have something zone this, we should keep it zone this. That will give us a strong economic development. Thank you.
Trustee candidate Mr. Amsler, the question is to you. What role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone, including resource management and water?
Well, okay. Well, I just wasted some water, didn't I? We can't waste water. The town has implemented a plan for saving water in Firestone, and I'll mop that up. I'm not gonna make it. To conserve water in our parks, using non-potable water. We've drilled some wells, and we're going to be creating an infrastructure so where that water can be diverted to our parks to help water. We won't have to use drinkable water. We also, in economic, if you don't have water, we're not going to grow, right? We're not going to be able to sustain. There's also a new reservoir called NIST, and we are participating in that. And the town of Firestone, the trustees, and the staff have looked very hard and have procured shares of water in this is public knowledge now, shares of water.
Don't slip on the water. So we'll move on to the mayoral candidates, and we'll start with Ms. Sindelar. The question: what role will you play in creating a viable growth development plan for the future of Firestone, including resource management and water?
The first thing comes to my mind as it relates to water and resource management is something that a town can do to help make things more attractive to builders is reducing the amount of water share required by the developer to come to Firestone. So that is, and how we will do that, or how we're talking about doing that, is looking at ways to reduce the amount of bluegrass and the landscaping that we require doesn't have to be a wonderful green pasture anymore. We're looking at ways to just really reduce the water, and that is one way that we can, I think, as it relates to water. Otherwise, I support vested rights. I support metro districts. I think those are wonderful tools that we can utilize to encourage.
Thank you, John.
And Mr. Heath.
I saw a track shipping.
One of the things that we can do specifically in managing water is smaller lots and xeriscaping. Now, a lot of people don't like xeriscaping, but I've learned some things about xeriscaping in getting preparation for this. When I lived in Arizona, xeriscaping down there meant you loaded your pickup full of rock, you backed up to the space, you dumped it, and you drove away. It was uglier than you know what. But if you go to a community over in Lafayette, they have xeriscaping over there. It's done by landscape architects. It's beautiful. But there's another side to it. And I just learned this. Plants. You can xeriscape with plants that look better than the rock. and they use as little water as those lots that way. So there are options for us. We need to take a look at those options and those opportunities so that we are using less water than we've used in the past. Thank you.
All right. So we're going to continue with that order. And the next question, again, I'll read it and give a break. So talk about the balance between business and residential growth. What role does the town government need to play? So talk about the balance between business and residential growth. What role does the town government need to play? Mr. Schaefer.
Still I can beat a dead horse here. I really do think that the town can, my thoughts are the town can do a lot in regards to bringing commercial development in here. However, the residents are going to define what we want to have in here for commercial growth. They need to put their opinions out there, and we need to listen to it. If we don't accommodate the people who are living here already in regards to what we want to develop and who we want to come in here, we're going to start turning people away. That can go bad really, really fast. That's really all I have on that.
Ms. Marion?
All right, so business and residential growth, I think, go hand in hand. You really can't have one without the other. The businesses pay the sales tax. They pay for us to manage everything that we have in town. But in order to, as I mentioned earlier, in order to have those businesses be successful, we need the residents to support those businesses. We can't just build houses with no amenities for those houses. We can't just have businesses with no customers for those businesses. So the two have to be in balance. They have to work together. And we have to keep that in mind as we plan going forward. Growth is coming. We have to be smart about it.
Mr. Jimenez, you talk about the balance between business and residential growth. What role does the town government need to play?
Well, I've already spoken about this a little bit this evening. In fact, I just spoke about it. When we reassess our economic development plan, we need to think about it real hard, put it in place, and start enforcing it, number one. Number two, regarding business growth, let's focus on the entrepreneurs we have within our community. Let's help them build the businesses they want to build. It's much easier working with folks we have in town than trying to attract folks that aren't in town. I'm not saying let's not attract business, let's do both, but let's really give a premium to those people that are here that want to do business. I think that's key. Second, regarding residential growth. As I said earlier, we have to assess residential growth and we have to manage it appropriately. We need to look at density and we need to look where we put the housing. When you combine all three together, you have a smart plan in place. I think that gets this town where we want to be. Thank you.
Mr. Adams, talk about the balance between business and residential growth, and what role does the town government need to play?
Well, I don't like the government getting in the way so much. So the town can do some things. We can zone, we can have the economic development plan, and but it's the free market economy. It's what we're used to, our capitalistic society, where growth is often controlled by the forces that we put on it as citizens. So as citizens, let's demand what we would like to see and support what we want to have, and support those businesses like I mentioned earlier, and work together with the builders. And that's what the town does. We work together with builders and with businesses to try to create an environment that we call home. And I think for the most part, Firestone's been doing a great job of that. And we have a lot to learn, and we want to continue that.
Thank you. Ms. Uvala, if you want to talk about the balance between business and residential growth, and what role does the town government need to play?
Well, I think the role that we play in the town government is to create an environment that attracts the developers, which creates the rooftops, which creates the shoppers for the businesses. So just doing our job and creating an environment where that attracting the developers to bring the rooftops, that bring the businesses, and then support the businesses once they're here as best we can. Thank you.
Mr. Lee.
One of the things that will help is to be cognizant of what's going on around us. Just a few statistics. They're saying in the next 10 years, 7 to 10 years, our area is going to increase by 39%. That's a lot of folks. They say businesses follow rooftops. So we have to be prepared for that because there's going to be a correlation. And right now, folks, we're on the outside looking in. If you look down the I-25 corridor, we don't have much land for businesses. It's not there. But across the corridor, growth is going in an unprecedented fashion. If you look to the east of us, growth is going in an unprecedented fashion. We need to take a look at what's happening around us and plan accordingly, especially since businesses follow rooftops. Thank you.
We have time for one more of the questions from the audience. So this one is, what is your plan for human services? What is your plan for human services?
You define human services.
Whatever your response will be, how you interpret that. It's gonna be where to start with. He's thinking, I'm giving you thinking time, it's all right.
Can I get y'all's opinion on what you think human services is? Anybody?
We want you to answer that question.
All right. Very well. I'm off the pass on this one. I just really don't have an answer for it. I don't want to lose anybody's time.
Right, I'll do my best to understand what human services means. For me, it means providing our residents with amenities like healthcare, transportation, disabled access to our parks and to transportation. It also involves jobs and how to attract jobs to the community. Anything that humans need to survive and thrive. It also would include things like our park system, our trails, health, anything in those categories. So I think it comes back down to the business model and finding applicable businesses that will provide some of those services to our residents in a way that's going to work for our town, and in so doing also provide growth and help support things like our parks and our trail system. I'd like to touch briefly on the rec center as well. I think that forms part of this conversation, and we need to continue to work with them to meet the needs of Firestone residents. The rec center is currently situated in Frederick. That needs to be investigated further.
What is your plan for human services, Mr. Hernandez?
All right. I like this question because it gives me the opportunity to circle back to this question and get to finish. And I'm going to talk about transportation. What I didn't get to talk about is VIA. VIA provides a much needed service to those who need it most. People with disabilities, seniors, and those with mobility problems. That's a tongue twister. I'd like to see the town look into joining or making a contract with VIA. They work with government agencies to provide those services. And when you talk about human services, I think transportation is one of those key services. Thank you.
And the question is, what is your plan for human services? Mr. Kaplan.
I'd like the town to work more with the food bank. We've provided a place and encouraged their growth at the food bank in the area here. The rec district is important for providing services to keep people healthy and moving. And also, if you notice, there have been in the past couple of years some medical facilities that have moved closer to us and that are in fact within our grasp now. So Firestone has done a good job in going there, but as we grow, our services need to expand some more.
Thank you. Ms. Sindelar, what is your plan for human services?
I am for human services. I guess to me it would mean taking care of our people, so attracting medical care providers and education, taking care of our kids and our schools and our parks, entertainment, taking care of what we already have. We have a wonderful, wonderful community with wonderful parks and amenities, attracting restaurants to make our quality of life, and shopping, of course, making our quality of life here in Firestone even better than it already is. Human services.
Ms. McKee, what is your plan for human services?
I love this one. And the reason I love it, I have a problem with Greeley. We have so many of the human services that are in Greeley or Fort Lupton, and folks, our population is stronger than Fort Lupton's, and they're still going over there. We need to stake our ground with the folks in Greeley and say, we count. I'm the first one from Southwest Well that's ever been on the Housing Authority. And I'm challenging that group to do some things for services, medical care, handicap care, things of those natures. But they're going outside. We deserve them here in our area because we have the numbers. It's a numbers game. We got to be honest about it. It's a numbers game, but we have the numbers. And it's time we got some things here that they have in Greeley. Because Firestone is the capital of Southwest Well.
Okay, we're going to move on to the closing statements. So you can limit your statements to 1 minute or less. You don't have to take a full minute. In your closing statement, please summarize any major points of your platform. And we're going to finish off going in the opposite order. So, Mr. Shea.
Closing statement. So, again, my name is William Schaefer, and I'm running for trustee. I appreciate y'all coming out and giving us a chance to speak to y'all and to work with you guys. If elected, and I hope that I am, I really believe in working for the community. Like I said, I served for 20 years in the Marine Corps, and I really believe, and I really want to continue serving. I think I can do a lot, and I can bring a lot to the table. I keep hitting on economic development because that's my passion, that's where my heart is for this community. Like I said, I have nothing to say bad about our community. I think our community is running well. I think these guys have done a great job. However, I just have a couple things I need to ask them is, you guys have all brought great points to the table. These are all relevant questions that happen in our community. How come we haven't talked about anything about what's already done? I promise you, if I get elected and we have to do this again 4 years from now, I'll be able to tell you what I did on these problems, these solutions.
Closing statement from Ms. Meyer.
I think the key for anything we're doing in Firestone has to be sustainability. Sustainability of our resources, sustainability of our land, our open spaces, our parks and trails. Anything that we're bringing into town has to be viewed through a lens of, can we maintain this going forward without deteriorating our quality of life here? If we view that everything we do through that lens, it really crystallizes kind of the path forward. Right now we're a small town with some big challenges. We're moving into a medium-sized town, even a large town. we need to reduce those challenges to small challenges, flip those around. I think that given my 4 years experience on the board and going forward, I have some good ideas and good solutions. And to quote Hamilton, immigrants, we get the job done.
Mr. Jimenez, would like to share your closing statements.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity you've given me to speak to you and introduce myself. As I hope you've seen, I'm very passionate about this community. I love Firestone and I care about its residents, particularly our seniors, particularly our entrepreneurs. One thing I need to talk about today is our teens. It's my niece right there. Thanks for coming out. But teens are important as well. We need to provide services for those individuals. We need to give them transportation so they can get around and do things. We need to give people here something to do. So let's focus on bringing in business. Let's focus on helping each other and supporting each other. And let's focus on making ourselves successful. Thank you.
Mr. Dempsey, could you share your closing statement?
How's the note-taking going? That's good. When you're a trustee and you're running for re-election, the proof is in the pudding. Do you like the way that Firestone is going? Do you like the improvements? Do you like the things in general that the trustees are doing? Do you like the way that the community feels like it's close together? Do you like the way that it bonds together when there's tragedy? If the answer is yes, I'd like you to vote for me. If the answer is no, and you don't like it, I'm part of the problem, get it. Vote for me, please.
And now closing statements from our mayoral candidates. We'll start with Lisa Millar.
I just want to echo, thank you everybody so much for coming. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you all. Again, I've been serving the town of Firestone for over 13 years, and I'm really excited to continue to do that as your mayor. I am term limited as a trustee, and I think the experience that I've gotten from being the mayor pro tem over the last 2 years has been extremely important and valuable, and it's just an important step in becoming mayor, and it's what's made me feel really ready for the challenge, and I'm gonna really work hard for you, and I'm excited. Thank you.
Mr. Heath, if you'd like to share your closing statements.
I could say a lot. Hopefully my enthusiasm has communicated to you. But there's one thing we've not touched on, and that is Firestone is not an island unto itself. There are other communities around us. They have some like problems, and they have some different problems. And we need to get together and talk to our neighbors about our area, not just Firestone standing alone, because we live in a multiple society down here. And to do that, we've got to cooperate. We've got to talk. We've got to work together. And if we'll work together and talk together, we'll solve the problems and we'll come out on top for everybody.
Right, that is it. But first, I would like to, in closing, I would like to actually first thank the audience. It's your participation that makes democracy work in our towns and municipalities. So on behalf of the Carbon Valley Chamber, thank you. And certainly thank you for your service, or intended service, or willingness to serve and put your name out there for all the candidates. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we do have one announcement from the state.
I received a phone call this afternoon from the town of Firestone. There is a monument that has been removed from one of our town parks. And staff did not want any of our candidates or our sitting trustees to answer a question about something that they did not have a part in. And I have been instructed to tell all of you, if you have questions about it, to call Bruce Nickerson at the town of Firestone. And one other thing that I was told that I could tell you is a new monument is going in, and the monument that was taken down will be given back to the family, and it has not been destroyed or harmed. Thank you for coming tonight, and have a great evening.
Let George do it. You know what, though, with the Nickerson thing, these people employ him for us. And I'll be at your meeting to file a formal complaint against him. And for you two, I'm going to do it separately, but Bruce Nickerson's hiding him. He's a bully. We get a picture? He's a bully. You guys aren't bullies, I actually love you guys. But he's a bully. You passed out the questions back. So my son was
Yeah.